Hi guys, welcome back. Let's make a mini bonsai diorama. I started off with polymer clay to make the plant pot. As you can see, I'm just using a scrap piece of PVC piping to roll it out flat. You don't need fancy or expensive tools to be creative. I cut out 4 sides and a base and constructed them on a tile ready for baking in the oven. Check the label on your polymer clay for baking instructions, as each brand can vary. If you're new to this channel, click subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. While that's baking, it's time to start on the tree. I used a scrap of cardboard for the base, stuck a matchstick where I wanted the tree to sit as a support, and then I wrapped tinfoil around the matchstick to form the trunk and branches. I used tiny pieces of masking tape to hold the smaller branches in place. Now cover all the foil with masking tape. It was pretty fiddly wrapping all the tiny branches, so have patience. Use small torn up pieces of paper towel and a mix of white glue and water to cover the tree with paper mache. Leave it to dry, and with popsicle stick scraps and matchsticks, let's make the teeniest chairs. I'm still making good use of my broken angle cutters to cut through scraps of wood cleanly. Just be careful of your fingers. Sand any rough edges smooth. These pieces are so tiny, I think I ended up sanding as much of my fingernails as I did the wood. Glue the pieces together with tacky glue. Those fine nozzle bottles are great for precision gluing on tiny things. I used tiny seed beads for the chair legs. Once they're dry, I painted them with acrylic paint. Back to the tree. Now it's dry, it's time to paint, starting with a complete coat of black, and then dry brushed with progressively lighter shades of brown to highlight the bark texture. I felt the bonsai pot was still a little plain looking, so I decided to try out gold leaf for the first time. I brushed some size on the rim of the pot and left it for a few minutes to become sticky. The gold leaf is super thin and delicate, so I was nervous handling it when it came time to brush it on the sized areas. It worked pretty well for the first time though, so I'll definitely give it another go in the future. Just remember to use a really soft brush when you do this. Okay, now the pot's ready, let's put the tree into it. I trimmed off the excess cardboard and glued it into the pot. It took a bit of dry fitting and trimming to get it just right. Landscaping time! Add tacky glue where you want the sand to stick. I'm just using ordinary dry beach sand. While the glue's drying, I gave the chairs a quick coat of varnish. To make some grass, I added green paint to some tea leaves and stirred them together. It's a really inexpensive way to add texture and detail to your minis. When the tea leaves were drying, I glued some tiny pebbles onto the landscaping areas. Then I added my tea leaf grass. For the leaves on the tree, I used moss and glued small clumps onto the branches with tacky glue. It gave a lovely, soft, floofy texture to the tree top. My heart was already melting at the cuteness of this, but I knew it wasn't even finished yet. Let's make some tiny accessories for the chairs. I cut out the tiniest newspaper scrap to glue to one of the chairs. For the other chair, I made a tiny throw rug. You know me, I love a good throw rug. To make a coffee table, I used a hole punch to cut out some circles out of cardboard and glued them together. I then glued a large seed bead underneath as the table legs. I wanted a string of coloured lights, so using some sewing thread that I had stiffened with some tacky glue and dried, I threaded on a bunch of different coloured tiny seed beads. Once the beads are on the thread, it's simple enough to add a dot of glue where you want each bead positioned. For the poles to hold up the string of lights, I used craft wire and made a small loop at one end. I made 2 poles, threaded the string through and poked them into the cardboard base with a touch of tacky glue. I then glued the ends of the string to the tree. Let's glue the chairs in place. I was starting to be impatient about now, so I used contact adhesive to reduce the dreaded drying time. I also glued in the table, which I had painted to match the chairs, and glued 1 large and 2 small clear seed beads onto it to be a drinks jug and 2 glasses. For the last added detail, I made a teeny birdhouse out of balsa wood and cardstock with a piece of broken old safety pin for the perch. I painted the birdhouse roof blue and used a permanent marker to draw on the entry hole. This was so tiny I could barely hold it to work on it. Lastly, I glued it onto the tree. And here's the final result. It was so hard to get a decent photo with it being just so small. But remember to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads. My next video will be out in 2 weeks. And come find me on Facebook, the link is in the description below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!